Alright, so now the default pages explained. Let's start up with Inspiration really quickly. Now, Inspiration gives you the Unsealed Spellbook, and they lock the other two. I really think that the reason that they do these are just to kind of get you playing, up and running, and then you kind of look into it, and then you're like, I'm going to make my own. And they don't choose necessarily the best thing for you. They just kind of choose something to kind of really get you kind of going and really excited about it. Now, the first thing you get when you're playing this, you're like, this spellbook, this is really great. I can switch out my summoner spells. But honestly, you go into the game with your summoner spells, and it's hard to just up and switch them out unless you're like really have a whole strategy based around swapping out the summoner spells. And then if you swap one out and you forgot that you swapped it out, and then suddenly you're like, why am I doing ghost instead of teleporting? And it could actually mess you up more than help you. Now, but nonetheless, it's kind of a cool feature, so they obviously throw that in there. The biscuit delivery is great, and then when it couples with the iron skin, you're like, oh, cool, consumables. You get a temporary 5% armor. And then mirror shell, you're like, oh, great, a temporary 5% magic resist if I use the consumable. So then when you realize that this just flat out gives you those and more, early game you don't get the additional bonus, but after 10 minutes, like this is huge. This actually makes a big difference for your game. And you only get a maximum of 4 biscuits throughout the whole game. After 12 minutes, you don't get any more biscuits. So there's no point in really like seeing the long term with that. Futures market is great. You're like, I can go into debt for buying things, and then your natural thing you just go into minus, and then it clears out. And then Cosmic Insight's nice. Honestly, this isn't too bad of a start. I would probably move the Unspelled Spellbook to something else. That's probably be a little bit better. But they give you this just to get you going, get you excited about it, and then after you've played enough and you start to really learn and understand these trees, you're just going to kind of delete this, and well, you can't delete it. You're just going to go in and develop your own thing for certain groupings of champions and just take this in. Next up, we have Sorcery with the Calamity. Now this, it starts you off with the comment. There's other ones, like I said, this tree, there's a lot that you can do with it. And this one, over time, you're getting more AP and AD. It's nice. But there's a lot of other abilities that you might want to try. And if you notice here, they use Eyeball Collection and Relentless Hunter. But if you don't get the 5 kills, these don't work for you. If you're using sorcery kind of like as for support. Now there are sometimes you want to run that, and you don't necessarily want to use inspiration. You want to use sorcery. I know that inspiration is supposed to be for your support characters, but it's really not. And so there's other better things that your character could be doing with this tree build. But nonetheless, it is something to kind of get you in there and get you playing. So because they knew that once people got in, it was going to turn people off just having to sit there and look in and try to figure out all the different things that they want to go down. So this just they think people would just want, but they didn't want to give any perfect builds, and then nobody actually has to go in and really understand what's happening under the hood. Precision, perfect. And so this is your basic ADC, which is actually fairly good for the whole ADC. As the game goes on, you're just getting more stronger and stronger. But the Gathering the Storm gives you more AP than AD, even though it's adaptive. I would not use this on my ADC. unless my ADC got bonuses from AP. But you want as much damage as you possibly can. And honestly, Scorch would be a better use for it because your next ability hit. So you do you do any just any of your spells. If you're Sivering, you just throw your weapon. You you can get additional damage. There's a lot better options. Manifold Band. I mean, like getting additional movement speed and the adaptive movement speed going over. Like I said, this isn't as good. Um, the abilities in here are good, but you have to really figure out what your champion is and what's going to work out best for them. And for I've tried this with the other ADCs and it works okay, but I would really redo this. Do all of them. And now Domination. You got Electrocute, you got Cheap Shot, you got Ghost Poto, Ravenous Hunter, and this is kind of an interesting little build here. And it's coupled over with Triumph and Coup de Grace. So it's good, you know, like you get your permanent lower health and you just continue to wail into them. But like I said, there's in my previous reviews of the Domination Tree, there are other better combinations that you could possibly do. And then finally, Resolve the Colossus. You know, you give it these really nice, cool sounding names. But then when you actually start to go into it, they really put an emphasis on the iron skin every time you see it, and it's like, oh, cool, 5 armor. But you know what? I'm gonna say conditioning is better. It's sure, you know, early game that 5 armor is super tempting, but you're gonna want something for the long game. 10 minutes into the game, you're gonna start to really want to shine, and that's gonna make the difference. Unflinching is nice, but as you can see here, it's just enough to kind of get you going. But then once you understand what's going on in here, then you're going to go in and start building all of your actual real builds, and you're going to really start to make this into something. And so once you do that, then yeah. But so that's it for now. This was my quick rundown of the new keystones and what they've done with the runes and the masteries and basically what the whole new system is and kind of what to look for, what to look out for. And so go ahead, have fun, start building some new trees, and really think about what your character that you're going to be playing does and what you like about that character, and the keystones that are going to really shine for that character. And you know, each champion is going to be something of its own. Just take it from there. Peace out.